Dang it! I yelled at the non-living pixel. Tommy Boy got hit with Bite, which didn't do much damage. I kept cursing at the sprite. Couldn't believe I had a shiny in the palm of my hands and the blasted thing wouldn't listen to me. I selected Dragon Breath, despite knowing he wouldn't obey anyways.
Tommy Boy wants his mommy.
I stopped hurtling profanity at the screen and gawked at that line of text. I surely hadn't seen any Pokemon do that before. I kinda wanted to laugh. The way that line was written sounded pretty funny, but I was scared at the same time. Tommy Boy continued to get hit with Bite. I fled from the battle. I went back into Lilyco City, saved, and turned the game off. I went to bed immediately afterwards, mind-blown and completely agitated at the same time. I woke up the next morning to find my sister sitting on the edge of my bed, playing Emerald. As soon as I stirred, she immediately turned to me with a puzzled expression. Hey, sis, did you play Emerald last night? Now it was my turn to be confused. Yeah, why? It's my game, I can play it whenever I want. Oh yeah, I know that. I was just wondering, did you battle with Tommy Boy? I was starting to get suspicious, although I wasn't sure of what. Why do you care? He doesn't like to battle against Dark-type Pokemon. They scare him. I froze, fear gripping at my soul. How did she know I battled against the Mighty Yana last night? Tommy Boy told me he fought a Mighty Yana last night, so I thought you battled with him. No big deal though. Just don't battle with him again. I was starting to get furious. Finally get a shiny, but he won't obey me. Only my sister can use him, and now she's ordering me around, telling me what I can and can't do with my own game? I prepared a stinging reply, but I started to go over the last sentence she had said. Tommy Boy told me. How the heck could she talk to it? But she did know that Tommy Boy battled last night when I was playing. She must be playing some big trick on me. I decided on that and left the room to get breakfast. I was unsettled while eating though and couldn't stop thinking about Tommy Boy. As soon as I was done, I went back to my room and saw my younger sibling still playing that game. It was question time. So, sis, how did you know I battled a Mighty Yana last night with Tommy Boy? He told me. She seemed undisturbed and contentedly kept playing the game. How the heck did he tell you? You can't talk to your Pokemon. He told me like... She seemed dumbfounded at answering this question. I can't really explain it. He just talks, and I guess I sense him talking or something. I don't know. She just shrugged and kept playing the game. I was starting to lose my patience, but before I could ask another question, my sister exclaimed, Oh, good boy, Tommy! You showed that Sandshrew. You make Mommy so proud. I felt disgusted at my sister talking to a pixel like that. The realization hit. Last night, Tommy Boy said he wanted his mommy. He meant he wanted my sister. Completely confused, I sat down next to my sister and watched her play. She was in the desert and kept battling the Pokemon there over and over again. Tommy Boy acted like a normal Pokemon and did nothing unusual. Why do you keep playing with the Pokemon in the desert? Because Tommy Boy only likes to battle Pokemon here. She kept on playing, as if everything was normal. After a moment, I thought of another question. Why will he obey you and not me? He doesn't like strangers. I'm not a stranger, and it's my game he's on, so he should listen to me. My sister paused for a moment. After a minute, she responded. Tommy Boy says screw you. She giggled while I gave up and left fuming. My sister did the same thing for many days after that, playing Emerald and battling Pokemon in the desert with Tommy Boy. Once he reached level 100, she still kept training him. Whenever I asked why she kept training him, she just said, Tommy Boy needs his mommy. I was starting to get worried for my little sibling now. Her health was getting bad. I wanted to play some games on my Game Boy too. I tried to talk her out of playing the game, but she refused. No matter how much me or my mom tried, we couldn't get her to stop playing that game. Then one day, I came with a decision. Once my sister got to bed, I took out my Game Boy. I started up Emerald. Once the game loaded, I found myself in Lily Cove City again. Why did she always save here? Whatever the case, I went to the Pokemon Center. I booted up the PC and selected Tommy Boy. Holding my breath, I selected Release.
Tommy Boy doesn't want to go.
I cursed at the message. I had the sinking feeling that was going to happen. Then I selected on Release again, but to no avail. Again and again I tried, but nothing worked. Listen, you stupid mass of pixels. I don't care if you're a shiny or how much my sister wants you, but I'm getting rid of you now. I don't care if I have to restart my whole game just to get you gone. You're hurting my sister's health, and she's hogging up my Game Boy too much. You're leaving? No. I selected Release again, and surprisingly, it left. Didn't actually think that would work, but it did. I sighed in relief, but a sense of foreboding shrouded around me. The heck was I going to tell my sister? It was hard for me to get sleep that night. I couldn't stop thinking about Tommy Boy. Once I did finally fall asleep, I didn't get to sleep much, for a nightmare woke me up. Although when I woke, I couldn't remember what it was. Starting to wonder if maybe releasing him wasn't the best choice. I woke up to find my sister sitting on the edge of my bed. It looked as if she'd been crying for a while. Once she saw I was up, her face twisted to one of defeat. You got rid of him. I was scared at first, thinking my sister might lash out at me and attack me for releasing her beloved Tommy Boy. I shakily nodded. Yeah, it was for the best. She simply got up, glanced at my Game Boy sitting on the desk, and walked out of my room. After a few days of mourning, my sister went back to normal. Her health became strong again, and in no time she was her crazy, hyper self like usual. Pushed the whole Tommy Boy incident to the back of my mind and continued to live all my life like normal. Until she got her own DS. A few months later, during her birthday, my sibling threw a squealing fit as she opened her present containing her new Nintendo DS. Her excitement was fueled even more when she tore open her next gift, which contained Heart Gold. As soon as she was done opening her other present, she grabbed her new DS and popped Heart Gold in. Of course, I had to help her with getting her settings right since it was the first time she used a DS. As soon as that was done though, she began playing her new game immediately. I felt happy for my sister. She finally had her own Pokemon to train and raise. I wouldn't have to worry about her messing up my games anymore, but sadly, she wouldn't train my Pokemon for free. Her game went normal, nothing strange happening. But then she beat the Elite Four and got the National Dex. My sister felt very proud of herself for beating the Elite Four for the first time, and I felt great for her too. She started getting into Safari Zone though. I never went to Safari Zone on my Soul Silver though. It just wasn't my thing. But she loved it and spent a lot of time there. A few days after her obsession with the Safari Zone started, she became very isolated from what was going on around her. She was almost always in her room, playing her game. I was a bit worried about her, but I just ignored it. She would stop eventually, but she didn't. One day I went into her room and asked why she was playing her game so much. She surprisingly became very shocked and worried, as if she was hiding a secret she didn't want me to find out. She replied saying that she loved the game a lot and wouldn't say any more. She wouldn't clearly answer my other questions, so I just gave up and left. Eventually, I became very worried about my sister. She never acted like this and never had before. Except that one time. Realization suddenly struck me like a bolt of lightning. I ran to my computer and opened up the internet at the speed of light. I searched how to get a trap inch in Heart Gold. An answer came up. The Safari Zone. I waited until night when my sister was asleep. I snuck into her room and quietly took her DS. I went back into my room and quietly shut the door behind me. Then I jumped on my bed and quickly turned on her DS. The title screen loaded and I pressed continue. She was standing outside the safari zone. I opened the menu and checked her team. There was only one Pokemon in her party. Tommy Boy, the level 100 shiny male Flygon. I immediately went to the Pokemon Center and booted up the PC. I clicked on Tommy Boy and selected release.
Tommy Boy doesn't want to go.
I don't care what you want. You are going now. I clicked on release again, but was met with the same message. This time, though, Tommy Boy was holding an item. Mail. I clicked on it and read the message.
This isn't your game!
I don't care whose game it is, you are going. I discarded the mail and selected release again. Yet again, I failed at getting rid of the dangerous sprite. It had more mail. I read it.
I'm not leaving Mommy again!
Yes, you are! I whispered threateningly at the screen, cautious at not being too loud. Selecting release still didn't do anything. More mail.
It's useless.
I sighed. There was only one option left, and my sister definitely wasn't going to agree with it. But it had to be done. I booted up my Pokemon Soul Silver and caught a ton of Sentrets. As soon as I had enough, I got on my sister's Heart Gold and traded all of her Pokemon into my game. In exchange, I gave a bunch of Sentrets. This way, when I restarted her game, she wouldn't lose everything. She would still have all of her Pokemon. Except for one. As soon as all was done, I prepared to turn off the game. But Tommy Boy still had one mail left. Unread. I selected it.
Nothing can get rid of me.
You wish. And with that, I turned off the game. I restarted it, and as soon as the menu loaded, I selected new game.